Hi everyone, this is Leonard from the DeFi Chain Value team. Welcome here to the interface for the liquidity mining pairs. It's a lot of graphs and a lot of numbers here, so I think it makes sense to go through it one time together so that you can get the most value out of it. Okay, let's start. This video will be about the interface of the dashboard. Then I would like to talk about the risk and return from the dashboard. So what is meant by standard deviation, why do we use this, how do we calculate the return from the liquidity pairs, and then last, the Sharpe ratio that sets the return in relation with the risk. Good, then let's just go into the dashboard itself. You should see it now. Perfect. So let's put this a bit more up. Yeah. Cool, now you should see it well. First of all, here are the different graphs for the last 12 months for the liquidity pairs. You can select them up here. So for example, we choose the first three. This is the cumulative return for each of the liquidity mining pairs. So when we consider Ethereum DeFi coin, it is the return from Ethereum, it's the return from the DeFi coin, and the API on top added. So we invest always in it when we do liquidity mining 50% into the one coin and 50% into the other coin. That's why we just need to calculate 0.5 times the return of Ethereum plus 0.5 times the return from the DeFi coin, and then add the API. Good, and that's the figures historically. Yeah, here we see the return for the last 12 months, one time plugged. Then we see it the same for the risk and the Sharpe ratio. Risk, we use standard deviation, what I'd explain in a second a bit more precise. And here we have Sharpe ratio that explains us how much return does the investment pay per percentage point of risk. So we are generally interested in high returns, a low risk, and a comparable high Sharpe ratio. The higher the Sharpe ratio, the more profitable the investment is. So all of this was rather long-term investment, last 12 months. Maybe you're also interested in short-term facts. Then up here, this helps to get an idea. You see the liquidity pair that had the highest return in the last 30 days and the lowest risk and the highest Sharpe ratio. And here, more or less, the losers are displayed with the lowest return and the highest risk and the lowest Sharpe ratio. And if you just want to know the APIs for the liquidity pairs at the moment, you can also look them up here. Now it's just displayed 3 because I only selected 3 up here. We can choose also all of them. Then we will have the APIs for all of the liquidity pairs. Yeah, cool. Good, that was the interface. Then let's go one time to standard deviation and how to interpret it. Therefore, here we go. So first of all, I give you the formula, which is down here. This is how to calculate the standard deviation for one coin. So it might be a bit mathematically, that's why it's maybe cool to have a look first. What does it make for a difference if we plug it graphically? Imagine you have two coins. You have the Dogecoin, which is really volatile, and it's absolutely depending on what Elon Musk is doing on Twitter or what he's doing in the late night show in the US. This coin, Dogecoin, pays 100%. Let me plug it here. Pays 100% over 1 year. And then we have a second coin, which is maybe Ethereum. And Ethereum is not so much volatile, it just goes slowly up, alright? But the interesting fact is that both of those coins, after 1 year, they have a performance of 100%. So now you could ask, why do I care about risk if the performance is the same? You do care about risk because maybe at some point you want to cash out your investment. Let's assume, for example, after 6 months, which will be somewhere here. After 6 months here, we can see that the Dogecoin just had a really big drop. And you don't really want to cash it out. Maybe you need the money for a wedding with your girlfriend. But you have to fire sell your coins now. You know they're worth more and they will be going up. But maybe they don't even go up again. Maybe it goes even deeper down, as you see here. So it's just really risky, this coin. It just goes up and down. You can be absolutely not sure about where it will be tomorrow. This is not the same with Ethereum, which just slowly increases. So here comes the key question. Why would you invest in the Dogecoin if Dogecoin has the same return as Ethereum, but Ethereum has a way lower risk? So it does make sense to consider the risk of a coin. Okay, this was the example one time graphically. I can also show to you with numbers. So I plugged you 4 days of return here for Ethereum and for Dogecoin. You see Ethereum has 0.1%, 0.3%, 0.15%, and then 0.25%. And then we have the same, and then we calculate the return, the average return for those 4 days, which is 0.2%. Don't get confused here, this is just the numbers, so you just have to put the 2 zeros to the right in order to calculate it here into percentage. It's just calculated accurately. And here below you have the Dogecoin. Dogecoin goes up 5% and then goes down 5%, goes up 9.8%, goes down 9%. So it's really volatile, going up and down. The average performance is also 0.02 or 0.002 it stands here, which is 0.2%. So important, the numbers are not so much. They have the same average performance per day, but Dogecoin is just way more volatile and more risky. So if you want to go with a safe investment, you would in that case definitely choose Ethereum because it has a lower risk at the same return. Good, I hope this helped a little bit to understand that risk matters and that we should incorporate it in our decision making when selecting coins. Now I want to show you also the how to do the same for a portfolio, how to calculate the risk for a portfolio, because we need to understand this for the liquidity pair. So when we have a liquidity pair, we have two coins, and the 2 coins, they are together a portfolio. They build a portfolio. So we need to know how to calculate the risk from a portfolio. This is the formula for calculating the risk of 2 coins in a portfolio. W1 is the weight for the first currency, and this is the standard deviation here. Actually, I can show you just like this. So this is basically what we calculate here, and this is the same also for the second coin. Okay, just squared. So this basic variance, if we take the square root of the variance, we come up with a standard deviation. So variance 1, variance 2, and the weights. And the weights, we know when we do liquidity mining, we invest 50% into the one coin and 50% into the other coin. So they are fixed, they are constant when we do liquidity mining, which is good because that makes it easy for us to calculate it for you. And here at the end we have the covariance. That's also important for building the portfolio. So just that you've seen it one time, you can also look it up in the internet. This is how to calculate the risk for a portfolio. Good. I think this was a good small introduction into understanding how it works with the risk. Let's have a look how we do it with the return. Therefore, I will just skip one time to let me have a look whether we are right here. Yes. So return is pretty easy. Let's imagine we have the same pair again as earlier. We have, or let's assume we have the Ethereum DeFi coin pair, and we have a performance of for the first day for this liquidity pair from Ethereum of 1%, and the DeFi coin pays 3%, and at this day the API is 1%. Then the average performance from this two is 3 plus 1 divided by 2, and this gives oh, you can't see it here anymore. Okay, you know what it gives. 3 plus 1 divided by 2. It gives 4%. Oh, it gives 2%, sorry. Ah. Yeah, 2 plus 2 makes 4. Huh? Okay, cool. So 2%. So just the weighted average out of those two components. And if we at the end get those 2%, we also have to add the API from this day. So we have 2% plus 1% API. So we come up with a total of 3%. Yeah. Okay, so return pretty easy. And then we compound it annually in order to get the annual performance for the liquidity mining pairs. Good. Now we are only missing with the Sharpe ratio, and then this video is over. So let's go to the Sharpe ratio therefore. Oh, let me delete this one time. Give me a second. Okay, almost deleted. Okay, so the Sharpe ratio basically tells us which coin pays the highest return per percentage point of risk. And as I said earlier, the higher the Sharpe ratio, the better has the coin performed. The way how we calculate it is pretty simple. It's just the return divided by the standard deviation, and we can just use an example. Ethereum and Dogecoin, they both pay the 100% return, like in the example we had before. Dogecoin has 20% standard deviation, Ethereum 10%. So Ethereum has a higher Sharpe ratio. Ethereum has a Sharpe ratio by 10, and Dogecoin has a Sharpe ratio of 5. 10 is bigger than 5, so in that sense we should choose Ethereum. This was a fairly simple example. As we found out earlier, we would always choose, if the return is the same, we'd always choose the pair that has a lower risk. But what if it's a bit more difficult, because the numbers are a bit closer to each other? If we have Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin pays 230% in last year, Bitcoin Cash 180. Correspondingly, at the denominator we see the standard deviations 32% and 25. We see here it was pretty close. Bitcoin Cash performed better than Bitcoin. Good. So Sharpe ratio really helps us to compare the investments adjusted for the risk. So which investment really yielded the best profitability. And we saw earlier it makes sense to not only consider returns always, but also consider the risk of an investment. Good, that was the video. I hope it helped you and maybe gave you some more knowledge and something that you didn't know. If there are any questions or remarks that you have, more information that you need, something you think should be added to the dashboard, just put it into the YouTube video here on a comment, and we'll be really happy about your feedback. Thank you very much, and I wish you a good day. Bye bye.